Good afternoon, everyone. Jonathan Davis here with Davis Autosports. Excited to offer you guys perhaps the nicest and cleanest 2004 Toyota Tundra on the entire market. Starting off, like I said, '04, as you see, crew cab, SR5, four-wheel drive, Carfax certified, flawless history, tons of service records, 94,000 original and documented miles. Just had a $2,000 service done at Toyota at 90,000 miles on timing belt, water pump, spark plugs, full driveline service, absolutely ready to go. This truck came in absolutely beautiful condition. There was a few things about it that was stopping it from being as perfect as a truck as we could make it, and that's what we did here at Davis Autosports. We've had this truck on our website as a pre-listing for quite some time because we did a lot of stuff to this truck. Starting off with the exterior. If you're familiar with these trucks, you know that the fender flares have a tendency to fade. The door handles have a tendency to fade as well. There were some rock chips on the front bumper as well as some thinning on the hood. So we took off and painted the entire hood. As you see, looks absolutely beautiful. The front bumper came off as well. That was completely painted. All of the fender flares were removed off of the truck, the door handles, and completely stripped down and painted. The reason all those parts that are painted look so good because the rest of the body was completely paint corrected. So between the paint work and the paint correction on this body, it's crazy, but we probably have close to about 80 man hours in this truck, if not more, plus the perfect match paint all the way around. So we spent a ton of time getting this exterior absolutely perfect. Equally on the inside, all the seats were removed, center console, full steam clean. We didn't have to do all that. The truck was already really, really nice, but just to make it in true DAS form, we try to present the nicest vehicles we can possibly find, and that's a combination of finding them in this sort of condition and then bringing them into our facility and making them that much nicer. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and do a walk around and we'll do some close-ups as well. In addition to our paint correction service, any and all small dings, large dings, which it didn't have any, were removed. So there's not one single dent or ding on the entire body. Truck is also sitting on like brand new Michelin tires. I guarantee you will not find a '04 Tundra anywhere on the market this clean, this nice. This truck looks absolutely brand new. We'll start off up front. Perfect and brand new paint on the entire front bumper, and that was continued up top on the hood. Another thing, so after we paint here, the job isn't over. The panels will cure for about 4 days, and then we actually wet sand them to get a perfectly smooth finish on the clear coat. So if you're looking at those trees and you look at how nice the perfection is, or the reflection, if you look at my finger, my hand, very, very smooth outlines on my hand. Factory paint has orange peel. Any paint or clear coat that is finished is going to have orange peel, and if you're unfamiliar with that, it's essentially as it says, orange peel. The reflections aren't smooth and crisp, almost like a golf ball sort of finish to it. So we actually sand it down when we're done, and then the clear coat is left being dull, and then we have to do multiple steps of buffing, compounding to get the shine back. So not only are these parts all painted, they were then wet sanded to have a perfectly smooth finish. It's a ton of work. You just don't know how many man hours gets into something like that, but that's sort of what we do. We try to find these trucks and present to you guys the nicest ones out there. Same thing with the fender flares. If you take a look at the finish, it is smooth as can be, perfect match as well. This is the hardest color to match. Any body shop will tell you that, and it's an absolute perfect match. Door handles as well, those have a tendency to fade, so those all new paint on the door handles. Look at that body. It's absolutely perfect. Now I will say the only thing, if I had to nitpick on the exterior, it's really on the other side. You do have a couple little tiny little rock chips here, which we will include some touch-up paint. Sometimes touch-up paint, in our opinion, can make a panel look worse if you have a bunch of little touch-ups on it, so we're not going to do it. We'll give paint included to the truck, a perfectly matched paint, if someone wanted to touch it up themselves. Also take a look at these wheels, great condition. And these Michelin tires, like I said, check that out. They're pretty much brand new tires. We didn't install them, but they're brand new. You're looking at a easy $1,200 set of tires, if not more. To get that sort of finish on these two paints is just absolutely incredible. Referring to the match. And the paint that we use here in-house is Axalta. Very, very expensive. One of the best paints on the entire market. We have our own mixing bank here. Same goes with clear coat and everything. So this paint's gonna last for years and years and years. It's a very, very high-end paint. Check out the seals as well. We either replaced it or the factory seal looks absolutely perfect, one of the two. So obviously the fenders and the doors, we didn't paint those the rear quarter, but part of that paint correction is getting that paint just absolutely beautiful. So rocker panel, as you see some rock chips there, that's really the extent of the wear on the entire exterior. And we didn't really want to get into painting those just because we would have had to bring the paint all the way up and to blend it. There's a mosquito out here. And that's just getting too far into this. So door handles painted. Interior of this truck truly was spotless, but my guys just over the top, took the seats out, vacuumed all the carpets, steam cleaned the carpets, kick plates come out to vacuum underneath there. So this thing surely didn't need it, but it got about a 2-day interior detail, and that's with 2 guys on it. Every panel also on this truck is absolutely original. Both keys, both remotes. And this truck drives absolutely brand new. Check out these seats. They're literally perfect. If you're seeing any sort of coloring change, that's just sort of the velour type of seats that they are, the material. Steering wheel's perfect, 12 o'clock's perfect. Headliner's perfect. I mean, this is absolutely as nice as they come. Look at that back firewall. It is absolutely spotless. Like I said, all the panels have the factory issued VIN plate. 89,600 miles on the timing belt water pump, done at the Toyota dealership using all Toyota parts. Bedliner still has a sticker on it. I mean, there's not even scratches on this bedliner. Probably have like a carpet on top of it. Look at the part on the tailgate. It's absolutely brand new. I'm telling you guys, you do not find them like this. So another thing too, let me put this down and shut this. One of the big things that we did on this truck too, and it's a huge service that we did that is going to be impossible for me to shoot. It's getting low light in here outside, and we do have a lot of pictures of this done on the listing, but even the pictures don't tell the whole story. So everybody knows with the Tundras and 4Runners and Tacomas, for this entire generation of trucks, really from the 90s all the way up to 2010 even, they had recalls on them for certain models, of course, is the frame. Now, whether it's a Tacoma or a 4Runner or Tundra, they have their known sections of the frame that are known to be weak, rust, everything else. What we do on a lot of our trucks, we have a phenomenal in-house fabricator. We did some custom close-ins on the inner frame sections on these where they're known to be bad. Beautiful custom work that we did to that. That's going to reinforce that frame. We didn't cut any of the frame out. It's a C-channel sort of frame, and you'll see the pictures in the video, or excuse me, in the listing, so make sure you take a look at that. Just on that alone, we have probably about 4 days of doing that. In addition to that, the undercarriage on this truck is extremely clean. With doing the custom fabrication to the frame, we went ahead and protected the frame with a really nice, clean, thin undercoat. It's not thick, it's not there to cover anything up. You can still see the smoothness of all the frame. It's a very thin layer. If you spray anything on top of rust, you're still going to see the texture and the scaling if the rust was bad. So make sure to take a look at that. So guys, in a nutshell, quick recap: 04 Toyota Tundra, Carfax certified, 94,000 miles. At 90,000 miles, it received a $2,000 service from Toyota. As you see, the exterior is mint, all new painted hood, fender, flares, all 4 handles. Interior is absolutely as clean as can be. All keys, all books, all manuals. I don't think they get any nicer, guys. But hey, if you guys have any questions, this guy's gonna go quick. Please don't tell me what Kelly Blue Book is on this truck, okay? So you guys know what you're looking at. If you're a fan, you know what it's worth. If Kelly Blue Book has one of these for whatever they say it's worth, you can buy one from them. 202-491-9929. That's my cell. Text me on that number. You can reach us at the office at 855-955-3377. Thank you. All right, guys, here we are in the drivability portion. Before we go ahead and take off, we have both keys, both remotes, second remotes down there, and the key for the rear camper shell. Four-wheel drive inside is absolutely as clean as they come. No odors, headliner's perfect. All the buttons are very clean. So we'll go ahead and give it a crank. AC is blowing ice cold. All the power components, windows, locks, all that, those have been all thoroughly tested and work exactly as they should. Steering wheel is very clean. 12 o'clock on the wheels, perfect. No stickiness or oil or worn leather. Check out all the knobs and buttons, and everything's very, very clean. We also have in here all the books and manuals. So you have all your floor mats, all keys, all remotes, books, manuals. And this thing's an absolute pleasure to drive. In addition to the timing belt and water pump service and spark plugs and all that, it also has a factory newer exhaust system as well. Pipes, one of the catalytic converters, muffler, tailpipe, and that's all factory Toyota stuff. And I can tell you that factory Toyota stuff is not cheap. You're probably well over $1,500–1,600 in the exhaust system. I mean, this thing literally drives smooth as can be. My knees are not on the steering wheel and just floating down the street, one finger. I drove the truck home last night. It drives absolutely flawless, whether you're going over bumps, whether you're at 80 on the highway, stop and go, braking, steering, exiting on highways, off highways, just extremely smooth. Does not wander all over the road. Earlier in the video, I had mentioned that it's got new Michelin tires all the way around, and there's a correction. Just the front two Michelins are new. The rear tires are not brand new. Go ahead and come in on the mirror, out, up, and down. Go ahead and come in, out, up, and down. Doors lock, unlock. Fans on high. We'll go all the way down to off. Got to be careful about cutting the radio on for copyright infringements.
You're in good shape. But what if you aren't? That's not calling the balls and strikes.
Very smooth braking, hands off the wheel, slowing down completely straight. I'm not on the wheel at all. Stops perfectly straight. No pulling left or right, which means all the calipers, rotors, and pads are perfectly symmetrical. Also the rear window. Go ahead and do a decent acceleration here, nothing too crazy. Very, very smooth. That light flashing is just a seatbelt indicator. I'll go ahead and throw the seatbelt on and you'll see that come off. So there you guys go. If you guys have any questions, 855-955-3377. You can also email us at jd@davisautosports.com. Thank you.